What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We're once again back here with another new look rebuild here on Madden 25 as we're continuing to ramp through these. As today we have ourselves the Miami Dolphins, so let's just go ahead and do a new look Miami Dolphins Rebuild, Madden 25. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. We currently find ourselves on the road to 10,000 subs. So you want to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That would be greatly appreciated. So I do believe this is the final video that will be uploaded while I'm still here. You guys will see a bunch of pre-recorded videos for the next like 8 videos or something along the lines of that. I also did get a little sunburnt. I don't know if you can tell by my forehead. So if you're wondering why my forehead's red, maybe you didn't care or didn't notice at all, but thought I'd point it out anyway. So let's go ahead and take a look at the lineup going into year 1. So obviously Tua remains quarterback. Tyreek Hill, even though there's been a bunch of reports about maybe him being moved or him being unhappy there, or he even kind of hinted at a little bit, he's still here despite all of that. So we'll leave him here for now for this first season. You got Jalen Waddle as well. Achan, and then you got Donovan Smith. Your O-line's okay. Teron Armstead just retired on them, so that hurt them a little bit. On the defensive side of the football, you have you got a couple interesting safeties, but nothing too crazy. They drafted a safety late, and then Kenneth Grant was their first round pick. You have Bradley Chubb, Julian Phillips, and then you have Chop Robinson, who is currently starting at right end, which obviously he's actually an outside linebacker. But I guess for now he's going to play that position because we basically have nothing else. And then Ramsey, there's still potential rumors about him, but nothing has obviously happened to this point as I'm recording this. So we'll just kind of have to see what happens. But I believe the last Dolphins rebuild I did trade Tyreek Hill and Jalen Ramsey. And it wouldn't surprise me if I did that again, to be honest. But we're just going to go ahead, see how year number 1 goes. And we'll go from there because I'm assuming this team will be mid at best, or they don't make the playoffs at all. So at the end of season 1, we actually did finish up at 10-7 and did in fact make the playoffs, which is pretty awesome. I wasn't sure if I was expecting that to happen, but it has. So that gives me maybe a little bit of a different motivation for this video as far as maybe keeping Hill and Ramsey. We'll have to see. But I do think this team usually gets like absolutely screwed in cap. So that's why I think I usually end up trading Tyreek Hill, because you can save a bunch of money by trading him. But Tua is, threw for 20 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. He had 7 touchdowns, 800 yards from Achan. Tyreek Hill with 1,100 yards and 4 touchdowns. Waddle with 700. And then Nick Westbrook-Akine with Akine, 5 touchdowns. And Jonathan Smith with 6 touchdowns and 500 yards or so. Zach Sealer had 5 sacks, 5.5 from Kenneth Grant, and then 5 from Bradley Chubb. Phillips with 5, and then 4.5 from Chop Robinson. 3 from Ramsey, 2 from Jordan Brooks. As far as interceptions, 2 from Cater, and then 1 and 1. So without further ado, let's jump into this first playoff game off rip as we get to head down to Buffalo, fellow division rival. Let's see if we can go down to Buffalo and take down the Bills in the playoffs. So Tua versus Josh Allen. Let's see how this is about to go as they go up 7-0. We get good field position and we kick a field goal out of it. Can we score again? Nope, we're down 14-3. All right, so far our offense isn't doing too much. We do get, yes, I guess still one possession game, but we've not scored a touchdown, and okay, so they score again. So they probably have put the game out of reach at this point. Now, had we have gotten a stop there, we probably had a chance to get back in the game, but unfortunately, we're going to lose in Wild Card Weekend 24-14 to the Buffalo Bills. It looks like we got to get in the offseason and better this team. I mean, it definitely needs some more talent. And obviously, like I said, I think our cap situation is pretty horrible. So we'll just have to see what we can do to make the team better. It's not going to be easy. Looks like we head into free agency with $33.5 million in cap space, and the Lions and the Broncos were in the Super Bowl, and it looks like the Lions got a Super Bowl victory. I think that's going to be I'm pretty sure that's the first one in their franchise history, so that's nice. They went 16-1. Damn, shout out to the Lions. But let's take a look at the player stats to kind of, or we already looked at that. What am I talking about? Let's get to the re-signing stage further. So $33.5 million in cap space. So we got Cater, we got Zadarius Smith, who I didn't even realize was on the team. I think Madden must have just signed him for some reason. I don't know. That was weird. But all right. Did Zadarius sign with the Dolphins? I don't think he did. So I'm going to re-sign my punter because he doesn't cost much. Ryan Stone will also be back. So the only player I think I'm going to bring back, although actually probably 2 guys, I'm trying to bring in Cater back and also the safety because they're both young and star devs. So that's why I'd like to keep them if possible. So they could continue to kind of develop in that role, maybe as starters. Because again, we're kind of screwed as far as money is concerned. So I do think that's what we're going to roll with. So that gives us about $20 million in cap space or so. Not a whole lot to do in free agency. So I don't think I'll be going too crazy if I had to guess. So let's go see what things are looking like now. And like I said, free agency, we probably won't be doing too much whatsoever. So I think I'm going to try to keep Tyreek Hill for another season because I usually end up trading him. We need to retool our O-line. Our offensive weapons, I think, are fine. But O-line definitely could use some strength for sure. And I think a playbook change could probably help us too. But you have Chubb and Brooks also developing, which is nice. We do need a new safety at strong safety position. And then we maybe try to keep Ramsey as well, although, you know, there's, like I said, rumors about him being traded. And then we definitely need to draft ourselves another defensive lineman. That way Robinson can go back to playing rotational pass rush. So strong safety and corner. I mean, there's a bunch of different things we could use, to be honest with you. But I do think I'm going to try to maybe hit one of those targets in free agency. So let's see if there's anything of significant value here at all. So there's like Kendall Fuller, who did play for the Dolphins at one point. Or there's Taylor, or yeah, I almost said Taylor Jenkins. That's the coach that got fired by the Grizzlies. But Tevin Jenkins. But yeah, I think Tevin Jenkins would be a really good signing if we could get him. I honestly would. It'd be all our money though. That's the one problem I do have with this. So we aren't even his number one offer. So even if we miss out on him, it's fine, which we do. That's probably for the best, actually, to be honest. So we tried, didn't get him. Is there a good corner that's worth taking? Maybe someone taking a flyer on. Like, so we have Trey Brown, nothing. What about safeties? We got Jimmy Ward. We got Jordan Whitehead. Richie Grant, I mean, he's 27-star dev. I guess we can go for him just to play that position. So the guy there to fill that gap for now. Maybe we can not worry about drafting a strong safety. So Richie Grant will be the only sign we make in free agency. Now we can head to the draft and focus on the trenches, basically, like usual. So O-line, defensive line is where we'll be kind of diving or, you know, putting these picks into, basically. So I think our best plan of action here is going to go like corner, offensive tackle, and defensive tackle. That's what I'm hoping we can land with all three picks. We'll see if we'll get lucky in that department and get a player worth taking out of each spot. So we get to pick here in round one. Let's see what it's available to us. So as far as offensive lineman is concerned, there is Spencer. What about corners? Because I know corners aren't very deep in this draft class, but I guess we do have Ramsey still, so we don't necessarily need like a top corner necessarily. But definitely could use a good one. So Malik Muhammad out of Texas. Let's see. B-man, B-press, B-zone. Speed is good. I mean, definitely intrigued by Malik Muhammad. I don't think I've drafted him very much. Or we could go, and there's Smith Snowden as well, which he has elite speed. So I am definitely tempted by this. So as much as I did want to draft Spencer Fano, I do think I'm going to go with the elite speed corner round one. Only normal dev, which is kind of disappointing. So maybe Malik Muhammad would be the better pick. But still 96 speed, so we get ourselves a corner who should at least still be good, but not really the obviously overall we were looking for, or the dev trait we were looking for at all. But all good, nothing you can do about it now. On to the next. So we got DJ Hicks and Corleone, and I do think we'll probably take DJ Hicks here. It really is unfortunate that I feel like every single rebuild I do, I need a defensive tackle, so I find myself drafting the same freaking defensive tackle every time, but you can't go wrong with it. Like, we need a D tackle, so that's why we're bringing in DJ Hicks. And like I said, it does suck that it's always the same guy, it feels like, but whatever. If only teams had D tackles, man. All right, so let's go take a look at offensive linemen, which probably should have been drafted earlier, but there probably is still somebody worth taking. We could have taken Bear Alexander here, but we passed on that. So we have Riley Mahlman out of Wisconsin. So I do think we'll go here at round 3. Riley Mahlman to be our brand new right tackle. Hopefully he comes out with hidden dev, and he's only normal dev as well, but still we'll start regardless. Okay. Could have been a better draft class by getting some dev traits to hidden dev, but unfortunately, talked about 2 normal dev guys, which is a little disappointing, but it is what it is. That was our offseason. Nothing of significance. We're going to change the playbook as well, and we'll see how this team does in year 2, but we'll look at the lineup first. Let's go ahead and take a look at this lineup for year number 2, and we'll go ahead and see what we got going on here. So, obviously, Riley Mahlman was drafted, and he's only 72 overall, so at this point, he's just depth, and we really didn't attack O-line like I wanted to. I think the better plan would have been drafting Spencer Fano in round 1 and maybe just filling the other guys with, you know, going differently in the other 2 rounds. But unfortunately, it is what it is. Can't do anything about it now. Hicks has moved into right end, and then Chubb Robinson is going to start this year. So Chubb is on the bench. You have Grant, you have Cater. Snowden is a 74 overall at least, but again, would have loved to have seen hidden dev, but can't get everything you want sometimes. So the only thing I'm going to do is I do think I want to try to run Cincinnati's playbook this time because I want Tyreek Hill to be heavily involved. Be great. So I'm going to go with Zach Taylor's playbook if I can find it. Maybe I've already passed it, but let's see. Is it any? There it is. Okay. And then defensively, we'll leave. Yeah, we'll go base 3-4 and I guess we'll go ahead and leave this the way it is because our defense was pretty good last year. So hopefully we have another good season. That's the hope anyway. And we'll be in the playoffs again. And we can improve after that. But I do believe this offseason, Tyreek Hill will be a free agent, if I'm not mistaken. And so will Jalen Ramsey. But I could be wrong. But we'll see how the season goes in year 2 after we just made the playoffs in year 1. So at the end of the season, this time around, we only go 6-11. So we go from the playoffs to not making it at all, which is obviously not really what you want to see if you're the Dolphins. But we were 18th offense, which is good. But the defense seemed to have not been very good, if I had to guess. I mean, both sides of the ball were mid, I guess. But unfortunately, it just didn't result in anything great. The Tua's still been good throughout the video. I've noticed sometimes I've done Dolphins rebuilds, he's like pretty bad. But today he's been good. So I can't really say that he's doing anything wrong so far. But here were your stats on the offense and interceptions, or sacks, I should say. First, you had 11.5 from Grant, 7 from Steeler, 6.5, 5.5, 4.5, and 3.5 from Robinson. Here's your interceptions, so nothing too much here. But yeah, unfortunately, we're not in the postseason this time around, so that is obviously a pretty disappointing result. Well, let's go ahead and get to the resigning stage and get started with this upcoming offseason. So going into free agency, we literally have negative $14 million in cap space. I had to have known that this was coming soon. And Jalen Phillips free agent, so we can't bring him back. Dotson we can't bring back. So it looks like Tyreek Hill actually isn't a free agent yet, which I thought he was at this point, but I am wrong in that thought. So I think we might need to do some trades, right? I mean, Tyreek Hill's still playing well at this point. We could save $39 million by doing it. Ramsey actually has a lot more years left in his deal than I thought. Honestly, I thought there was only a couple years or something like that left. But unfortunately, like usual, I do think we probably have to trade away Tyreek Hill, which does suck. But don't really see another option because we could cut. I mean, we could like restructure Tua, I guess. And yeah, we could. I mean, Tua's been good. So we can restructure Tua. And we'll also trade Tyreek Hill and still save money. Chubb, we won't worry about. Although that would actually free us up quite a bit of money. But yeah, and we could save 11 million there. But trading Tyreek Hill is probably the best plan of action, so let's just go ahead and see what we can get for him after he's had a decent little season. So I do want to keep Phillips, but everybody else is probably gonna have to go. So Phillips, I'm gonna give an offer to. We can keep Chubb, Robinson, and Phillips as our pass rush rotation, but everyone else probably done for. So once we trade Tyreek Hill, we'll save even more money. So we'll go see what we can get for him. So I've decided to use the trade finder, which I usually don't do, but I do think I like this Chargers trade quite a bit. It gives us a left tackle that we desperately need, and we get a first round pick in this draft as well at pick 22. So do we want to counter this though? So we can go Tyreek Hill to the Chargers. So they want to give me round 1, Ernest Green, and let's say we can we get a round 3 out of them as well? Or I guess this is a next year's first, isn't it? Can we do this year's first instead? That would be better if we could do that. So let's go 18. And this might be pushing our luck, but I'm gonna see what they say to this. So okay, what if we swap thirds? Maybe 69 for 82, so you get a higher third round pick. We get a first round extra first in this draft, and they're close to accepting it, and I'll give you like a 7th or something like that too. But we get ourselves a still not gonna accept it. What about a 5th? But a 5th round pick? What do you say to that? Not quite. And then I'll give you another 5th. We get a first round pick and a left tackle, and we swap third rounders with them. I'm fine with that. And oh my gosh, you know what? Maybe we don't ask for the third round pick. Maybe we just go first, and then let's say we get a third rounder next year. How about that? Does that make things? Well, we don't want to give them this anymore. Come on, what do you say? Okay, still driving a hard bargain, I guess. And then I'll give you, I'll give you my 4th and 5th in this draft. Like, what do you? Okay, so what about just Ernest Green and a first then? Still, wow, they're still not gonna accept it right away. 4th, this is taking longer than I need it to, but so far, you know what? Maybe just go with the original trade. So we're going to go original trade here, or do we like something different? So this is 2026 draft. Did anybody offer me a 2026 pick? So McKinstry was interesting to me as well. Firemouth, this one's interesting too, I guess, if the Steelers want another wide receiver. I mean, we're getting an extra pick in this draft, so you know what? We're going to go ahead and do this one. Firemouth to us. We replace obviously Jonnu Smith with Firemouth, which I don't hate that. He's also a superstar dev. That was an interesting trade, but I really wanted to pick up an extra pick in this draft. We didn't get a left tackle necessarily, but we did get ourselves another weapon, and that's helpful with Firemouth, which I love. Definitely needed another wide receiver, and again, offensive lineman is still very much needed. Chubb superstar X Factor is great, and we need a middle linebacker now too. But overall, the defense is looking okay, so that's good at least. But definitely more room for improvement. So let's go see if there's or I guess let's not look at scout college players. Let's go look to see if there's anything of value in free agency for us to go for as we continue to retool the team a little bit. So Rasheed Walker to me is a no-brainer. I've been talking about how we need an offensive lineman, especially at tackle, and he would be great, and it looks like we will get him. Do we go other side too and just fill them both right now? No, we don't have enough. So Rasheed Walker might be our only addition, but whoops, that's not what I meant to do. I didn't mean to withdraw the offer. So let's try that again, and we'll submit that, and we'll have hopefully Rasheed Walker. So we'll go Rasheed Walker. If I can remember how to freaking why am I am tripping right now. So dude, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like my brain is absolutely fried right now. Why did I forget how to do this for a second? So let me try this again. So yeah, I was clicking the right stick for some reason. I don't know what's going on with me today, but whatever, it's fine. We got Rasheed Walker, so let's go ahead and get to the draft, and we'll see if we can get in the draft when we're in there. So it kind of looks like the most ideal thing for us to walk away with in this draft is, you know, I guess a wide receiver first and foremost, and then probably a middle linebacker because we have nobody there right now. We probably could have signed someone. I just noticed Kenneth Grant's also Superstar X Factor, which is awesome, but let's go ahead and get into this bad boy. So we should have a top pick, which is helpful in this draft, but I don't think we'll have like number 1 or 2, which would be great, but we're picking at 7. So yeah, Ryan Williams, Jeremiah Smith would be a dream, but neither one of them are falling to us. So yeah, Ryan Williams goes number 4 overall. Smith goes to the Saints, so both those guys are gone. Okay, so what do we have available to us? We have AJ Harris, which that could be a good pick, and I honestly tempted by it because I don't mind getting myself another corner. Or we could go Cam Coleman out of Auburn. Don't know much about him, but see catching a deep route, a release. Speed is great. Okay. I think ideally I'm going to go ahead and take AJ Harris here. So get ourselves a legitimate corner, and he'll be a really good starter next to Jalen Ramsey, and Jalen Ramsey might be gone eventually. So 26 true value, but 93 speed at hidden dev corner. Welcome to the Dolphins, AJ Harris. And round 2, we need to get ourselves a wide receiver for sure, or a middle linebacker. But we have 2 round 2 picks to make this, so hopefully we can do good with these. Okay, so we have Rousseau, who could definitely move inside if we need to. Ethan O'Connor, we already took our corner, but what about wide receiver? DJ Moore, he's been somebody I've been taking quite often, but I'm going to take him again. Elite speed, or no, he's not elite speed this time. I feel like I've seen him elite speed before, but still great speed, and he'll still be a perfect replacement to Tyreek Hill. Obviously, Tyreek Hill is great in his own right, so it's not like he's going to live up to him necessarily, but he should still be a serviceable player next to Jalen Waddle, which is what we want. Okay, so now at pick 51, we got Alex and Fluff going before this pick, but yeah, I did think Rousseau was going to be my pick. He's got good coverage skills. Speed is great, so he'll be playing inside linebacker for us and replacing immediately. For whatever reason, it's not letting me. There we go. Okay, so server's shut down. All right, you know what? My brain is shut down today too, so that actually fits the theme of today's video, but let's try to get back in there. Funny enough, when we jumped in here, Rousseau has now been drafted, so we're actually not going to have him anymore. So instead, we're probably going to go Josiah Trotter, hoping this works, but similar position where he could be playing inside back for us right away. Yeah, Rousseau now goes when we jumped back in here, but 84 speed. Maybe not going to be as good as Quay, but still welcome regardless, Trotter instead of having the other guy. And then we got an early round 3 here. So let's go see what we got going on here. Round 3, we got, whoops, there we go. We got Ethan O'Connor, Sean Levitt, or Sam Levitt, and then Marius Brown, Charles out of Penn State, which it would not be a bad idea taking another tackle, honestly. So Charles I don't know how to say his name, but we're going to take him here as depth, and that will be our draft. So 86 in true value, hidden dev. Maybe could start right away. We'll see. But all right, not a bad overall offseason, I feel like, and I will see you guys with the lineup going into year number 3. So here's what the lineup is looking like going into year number 3. So obviously offense kind of is a little bit different with Moore now starting opposite of Waddle instead of it being Tyreek Hill, and obviously also brought in Firemouth, which seemed like a good trade, and hopefully he is going to make an impact for us. But Robinson, Trotter, Jordan Brooks, Phillips, they also drafted us a depth safety in Hartford. Obviously, we also drafted AJ Harris, who's going to hopefully get some opportunity right away. Might even throw him at that corner 2 spot. But all right, we're going to go ahead and submit this season. We're going to hope we can finally get ourselves back in the playoffs in year 3 with Tyreek Hill gone, and hopefully Tua has another good season with this offense. I'm going to leave the playbook the same. I think defensive playbook I might change because I would like to see it be different. So as far as who I might run, I'm going to figure that out. But I will see you guys at the end of year number 3. So at the end of year number 3, we finished up at 11-6, which feels pretty good. And nobody in like top 3 stats, but we did win the division as well on top of that. So let's go ahead and take a look to see how the offense was. So top 15 offense, which is better than all you could ask for. And obviously it would be better if it was, you know, top 10 or whatever. But defensively, 16th in the NFL. You had 38-8 from Tua. You had 8 touchdowns, 1,000 yards from Achane. 1,100 yards from Waddle, and then Washington had 900, 800 from Trey Moore, or TJ Moore, I should say, and Fireman with 500. Defensively, sacks-wise, you had 7.5 from Zach Sealer, 7 from Grant, 6 from Phillips, 3.5 from Chubb, 2.5 from Chop Robinson, 2.5 from Brooks, 1.5 from Hicks, 1 from AJ Harris, half, and half. Interceptions, you had 3 from Richie Grant, 2 from Brooks, 2 from Ramsey, 1 from Trotter, 1 from Snowden, and 1 from Melfonwu, if that's how you say it. But all right, let's go ahead and play. Who is it again? It's going to be the Chargers in round 1. So hopefully Tua can take down his fellow draft mate quarterback in Justin Herbert, but we'll see how it goes. Wildcard weekend here in Miami, squaring off against Justin Herbert and the Chargers. So let's see what we got. So we will have the ball to start things off, and neither team has scored until they draw the first touchdown of the game. We get a field goal. We need to put some touchdowns on the board. There we go. 10-7. Could we put up another one before half is over? No. They'll take the lead out of half, but we will take it back. It is a back and forth game with Justin Herbert. Can we go down and score 20-17? And we get a stop on a missed field goal. Dicker misses a field goal. Usually a pretty reliable kicker, but that is going to end the Chargers run here, and we're going to win wild card weekend. So Dicker had a chance to tie the game. He misses it, and it goes in our way, and now we get to head divisional round. So let's go see who's in front of us there. And now for divisional weekend, as we get to play Joe Burrow and the Bengals. So another quarterback from that same draft class as Tua and Herbert. We just took down one. Can we take down the other one? Obviously the one that went number 1 overall in that draft. As we go up 3-0, and we get a big interception from Jalen Ramsey, and they get a field goal to match it. We go up 10-3, and another interception from Ramsey again. Ramsey balling out against the Bengals. And we will go up 24-6. So far, so good. Ramsey's been a big, and then now Chop Robinson as well. And just like that, we will beat the Bengals 24-6. Jalen Ramsey, man, was making some plays in that game. You love to see it. And now we're on to the AFC Championship game. Tua had a phenomenal game as well. Joe Burrow, obviously not so much. Only put up 6. Defense playing well. So let's get to the championship game and see who we got there. And now for the AFC Championship game, as we get to play Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. So we don't have to deal with the Chiefs or the Bills today, which is great. I mean, we played the Bills earlier, obviously, but as far as being an AFC Championship game, I feel like you would feel pretty good about seeing the Jags instead of those two teams, but the Jags are still here for a reason. We're up 14-3. We're up 21-3. Okay, they could still get back in it. Don't want to rule that out. Defense playing well, and we will go up 20-10. That's probably all she wrote. Just like that, we are headed to the Super Bowl. A 28-10 victory over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Lovely. And now let's go get to that Super Bowl. Tua has been just absolutely balling in these playoffs, by the way. 91% completion percentage and 4 touchdowns with 300 yards. Love it. And now let's go see who's ready for us in that Super Bowl game. And now it is Super Bowl Sunday time as we get to play Jared Goff and the Lions, which I presume is still Goff. It usually is. It's 0-0 so far, though. And the Super Bowl, defense is playing great on both sides. No points in the first half at all, which is wild for Super Bowl. But we're up 7-0, so good start. Now, can we go down and score? Wait. I didn't even notice it was the 4th quarter already. We just won the Super Bowl 7-0? That clock went by so fast. Dude, again, my brain feels really fried right now, but this was a video I had to do at this time. So please excuse me, but regardless, we still won a Super Bowl. I feel like it was like the 3rd quarter and then it just went like that. I don't know, man. Well, we won. That's all that matters. So I'll see you on the next one. Which you guys will see all the pre-recorded videos next time around. So this is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.